Yo, look at this guy. He's up here. Look at him. Tosses down there every once in a while, man. By the way, level 27 already. Just relaxing. Just a good vibe, man. Just a chill vibe. I'm just getting sent, bro. I'm just relaxing. I'm gonna throw one of these down here real quick. Just in case. Level 28. Bro, I just got Freyna to 40. First drop. First drop. Toxic mixture. Alright, now we're just using the baseline, just energy activator on the bossing build, the solo bossing build. We're going to work on some group stuff, but that's going to take time. Anybody figuring that out first day probably isn't testing thoroughly enough, but if they've just been, you know, theory crafting with, you know, the stuff in the, I don't know, like some notebooks or whatever, maybe they could have figured it out, considering the patch notes just released last night. I don't know, but we're going to go ahead and test this right now. Just getting some starter builds out for you guys, so we're going to see right now. And this is assuming you already had an energy activator ready for Freyna. All you'd have to do is literally put the energy activator on and equip all these builds once you get, obviously, all your skills unlocked. And these all run with the reactors and everything that we already currently had on our older stuff. We'll see if this hits right. Yeah, I'm in. It's just crazy. Oh, missing shots too much. There's no way, bro. I mean, dude. I don't really... I already know the comments, man. Yo, so can it kill Deathstalker, though? Obviously not. I haven't even tried it. It might. I don't know. But, like, that stuff is more about team composition. And I know a lot of people, for some reason, decided to question the integrity of the build in a team. If you guys set your build up right, you guys will be able to use the solo build in a team. I have multiple examples on my channel, pre-patch, by the way, with a Luna and 3 Freynas. Even one time, a Luna and 2 Freynas, and we killed Frostwalker in 9 seconds, and the other runs were in 8 to 10 seconds on all of the hardest bosses in the game at that time, except for Gluttony. So all that stuff has been possible pre-patch. So post-patch, we're probably doing 7 seconds. But we just haven't been able to get everybody together yet. And I'm just getting back into this. So once everybody in the IQ gang and the Freyna fam remembers and, you know, sees my channel for some reason again at some point and comes back, then we'll be able to regain the exact group we had at that time and go ahead and test this stuff again, because that group was extremely strong with the 3 maxed out, completely maxed out Freynas. One of them was actually a tankier one, not even a full DPS Freyna, and we put in a lot of work with that squad, with Melon on Luna, of course. But if you guys are curious what the best, in my opinion, starter builds are going to be for both mobbing and bossing, I actually have them for you right here. So we'll go ahead and start off with the bossing. Everything is pretty much the same in terms of weapons and reactors and external components as it was with the mobbing and bossing builds for Freyna in the past, okay? The difference is, obviously, now I'm going to be fully speccing into mobbing, I think, with this character. I don't really think much changes for bossing. Looking at the new modules, there might be something you can do with like a hybrid, like team build kind of thing I'm going to work on, so let me do some actual testing before just giving you guys something I'm not completely sure of as far as actually testing when actually investing into the character with Crystallization Catalyst. All you need for these builds is energy activators. Not to mind you could also just invest 1 Crystallization Catalyst into the maneuvering, whatever it is, whether it's a knife, whatever it is you guys use here, whether it's the claws. If you invest into this sub-attack category, it will give you an extra 5 points to mess with, and you could go ahead and put on Venom Cinctium, even at base, or whatever you want. and that'll be a free slot essentially. So that's something else you guys could do. But as far as the bossing goes, it's going to be pretty much the same. Starting off with neurotoxin synthesis, midair maneuvering, we got maximize power, toxic specialist, skill concentration, skill insight, spear and shield, dangerous ambush, and skill extension. Now there's a couple other modules that I have yet to get, but if you guys for some reason already have them, again, this is a starter build. This is something you're beginning with, okay? That's why it says starter build. So you just got the game, again, you just got Ultimate Freyna, and now you want to go ahead and get some work done with the character, get some XP, clear some bosses, do some mobs. This is what I'd recommend. You could put those new modules here that actually lower your crit chance or crit damage and invest in skill power, because obviously since it's just level 40 and we don't have more crit invested in this, it's not going to be that high right now. So I'd actually recommend those modules. You guys can go ahead and check out my patch notes video for what those are called. But yeah, so I'd recommend those in replacement here if you guys would like for more skill power if possible. And then we have dangerous ambush on here. I think it's a necessity just because it's an extra 50% skill power when they're down. So strong. Skill extension here for duration in order to keep shooting that gun, and just spear and shield. Completely base. This build does Executioner in 7 seconds, Pyro in 7 seconds, Dead Bride in 9 to 10 seconds. Base, and obviously Devourer in like 10 to 9 seconds, but Devourer you can clear with whatever. This is extremely impressive to me, the fact that it's just an energy activator and it's this strong off the rip. And then also for the mobbing, this is the setup we have for mobbing, okay? But we're going to go ahead and check this out right after we go over the external components real quick for people that haven't checked out our builds in the past. So for the bossing external components, we're running the Slayer set. Doesn't really matter what your main roles are here, just because you're only pulling out the 4 and killing the boss, at least when solo. So wait for the team builds, guys. It'll be coming. So right now, all Slayer set, super strong with the extra 26% skill power. We're going to try and farm Deathstalker at some point to get that new set and test that out and see what the gains on it are, and see if it's worth it in comparison for bossing solo at least. Secret Garden Reactor here with crit damage and a skill attack when attacking Colossus. Both very high rolls here. This is a God roll reactor. With tech and toxic skill power, this is going to be your go-to reactor here, in my personal opinion. And we have the Secret Garden here as well. You could also use anything with a Fallen Hope mounting, whatever it is. I don't know why people are saying I'm losing out on something by using the Secret Garden for this purpose. You can use this for mobbing too. It's obviously best in slot for mobbing. You're not losing out on anything. There's nothing else to gain here. All you do is switch to your 4, even before the boss even comes up. So there's no main weapon at this point in time that will give you a buff towards your ult, except for the fact that this has a God roll rounds per magazine roll on it, which is going to go ahead and give our ult more ammo, okay? And then on top of that, we're also going to have modules on it for sharp precision shot, magazine compulsive, have aiming, which doesn't affect the ult, just to let you know, rounds per magazine, and fire rate up. Everything, those 4 modules right there are mandatory on any gun that you guys are going to have for your mounting for the 4 ult on Freyna, okay? This is only for bossing again, okay? And those will all affect your ult. The only thing that doesn't affect your ult from these 4 modules is going to be the firearm attack. Only the fire rate is going to increase, okay? But it does make you get bosses done faster. If you guys are running light ammo weapons or general rounds weapons, you guys could go ahead and go for Firing Fiesta, and that's going to look something like this right here. That's completely up to you guys, okay? So whatever your mounting is, Firing Fiesta or Sharp Precision Shot. I recommend Sharp Precision Shot for quicker clears, but tankier bosses are going to require Firing Fiesta when you have less stuff invested, okay? So getting into the Descendant modules for mobbing. Now you guys are going to see we have Contagion here, MP Conversion, Venom Sanctium, Skill Expansion, Multi-Talented, Focus on Toxic, HP Amplification, and Skill Extension and Expansion on this as well, okay? Okay, so yeah, what I'm going to be missing out on here is obviously Focus on Tech and a few other cooldown stuff. I'm still working as exactly how I'm going to make this extremely strong for mobbing, but this thing already is ridiculous. You literally just shoot the 1 or the 2 off, the 1 or the 3 off, and this thing just kills everything. It's actually ridiculous. If you're doing the farm that I showed you guys for XP in the gameplay, you guys see you only have to shoot it off once and then kind of just sit there and look up at the stars. Like, you don't have to do anything. It's just going to keep clearing by itself. It's a crazy, crazy character buff they did for the Freyna. It's actually ridiculous, and I think it's because they wanted to sell the character more. Hopefully they don't revert and nerf this, but this is actually broken right now. It's so fun to use though. I'm hearing people already complaining like, this is worse than Bunny. I'm like, bro, it's a PvE game. Just have fun clearing stuff. Like, enjoy the time. You feel me? I don't really get why people get so serious about PvE experiences, but long story short, that's what we got for the mobbing modules. Getting into the external components for the mobbing modules, we're going to go ahead and move over to our mobbing preset here. apply the preset. I'm personally rocking the Fallen Hope. You guys can run the Secret Garden, but while I'm not that invested in damage right now, I kind of want to use the Fallen Hope just to go ahead and shoot some NPCs if I have to, and I really enjoy the Fallen Hope as well. I unfortunately have Electric ATK on this, but every other roll on it's pretty perfect. I want to get Toxic ATK on there. We'll figure out if we can get that. I've already rolled like 400 weapon rerolls, so that's unfortunate, but as for our modules on this weapon, we're running Toxic Conductor, Toxic Enhancement, Poison Priority, Fire Rate Up, Rifling Reinforcement, Action and Reaction, and Expand Weapon Charge. Obviously, I haven't finished this Fallen Hope yet. It's a very baseline investment, so that's also kind of budget for you guys. I've only upgraded it once. I've only upgraded the Secret Garden once. I do have extra weapons for those cooking. I will be able to finish those probably in the next 2 to 3 days. Both of those weapons will be maxed out, as well as the Python. Toxic Mechanic Reactor here with Fallen Hope and double gold rolls on Tech and Toxic, which is absolutely amazing. This is a god roll reactor right here. Absolutely love this thing. And for our external components, you guys will actually have to see the rolls on this one. So we're running a defense support auxiliary power here with defense, MP recovery out of combat, and max HP. We're also running an annihilation sensor here with max MP. We would like to get MP recovery in combat. I just haven't gotten lucky enough to get that to drop yet, but we also have defense up top there. We also have a max HP, max MP recovery modifier roll on there, and defense on there. We would want everything in gold, obviously, but this is just what we've gotten so far. And we have toxin resistance and max shield. And for the annihilation processor, we have max shield and toxin resistance and max HP up top. So this is going to make our main stats pretty decent for mobbing. Obviously, we're going to get tankier over time as we continue to min-max this build. But one thing I will say is, again, I'm trying to work in those toxic new sets and maybe some of the old toxic sets to see if it does a little bit more damage and it's worth it. But personally, for mobbing, I just like to be able to take out what I need to as far as the NPCs go. And then when I come to the boss, I'll just go ahead and shoot him in the face with the Python, because this thing does so much damage. If you guys haven't checked out our Python video, I will be making an updated one in the future, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But your base rolls are going to be rounds per magazine, firearm attack, bonus firearm attack versus Colossus, and weak point damage. That third one, if you want to use it for mobbing, you're going to want to roll whatever you guys maybe kill the most, or you guys can throw on maybe, I don't know, crit damage or something, or toxic ATK on there or something. If you guys would want to, I'd probably recommend toxic ATK, but this thing is absolutely nasty for killing any kind of bosses, whether it's the Colossus or just the end of mission invasion bosses, in my personal opinion. Okay, this build is very, very nice. If you guys want to go ahead and take a look at the stats here on the mobbing build, and take a look at these stats here on the bossing build for the starter build for Ultimate Freyna, these are pretty decent stats. I'm very happy with these builds as far as starter builds go. Now I'm going to start the loop now. I'm going to invest Crystallization Catalyst, keep getting XP and leveling up this character. So hopefully you guys stay tuned. Make sure you tune in for the upcoming team build and the ultimate bossing and mobbing builds for Freyna in the future. It's been Magic IQ. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.